So this is Tim Rogers, Dodgers 2080, and I have with me Trinidad Loeza, and we are going to be talking about the prospects in the Dodgers system that play a majority of their games at shortstop. And so I've done a little evaluation of all the the guys have played. So you're not going to see like Rain Doncon on here. He actually qualified as a third baseman, but you're going to see a lot of guys that we got nine to go through, and they're all young with only one of them that even has made it to AA. So they're all young. So Trinidad, good to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back, Tim. It's been a while now after we've been after what, 3 months out? No, almost 3 months out of the season, right?
Crazy. Yeah, we're restarting this series again. We've had so many breaks because of all the different things that have happened with with all the things that have happened, like free agency and the Rule 5 stuff and everything. And now it's all these trade rumors. So this one is not about trade rumors, even though we might address a couple at the end.
Right.
It's about the players that we have. Again, it's a really young group with not a lot of experience, and to like for Trinidad and myself, that's exciting.
Oh,
And
it's always exciting to talk about these guys like that.
yeah, and there's a couple of them that haven't, or a few of them that haven't even reached single low A with Rancho yet. So we'll go through those. So what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to share the screen. This is Alexander Albertus, or how would you say it, Trinidad Albertus, or?
Yeah, I would probably end up saying it Albertus.
Okay. Yeah, we do want to get these things right, and hopefully we'll run into these guys at spring training or at Rancho, and we'll ask them directly, which is some of the things I've done. So Alberto is he was signed in 2022, and he was 18, so he was an older international free agent, and he's from Aruba, and he played his first season in 2022. He latched on with the Dominican Summer League Bautista team, and let's see, no home runs, but he did hit 304 with an on-base percentage 467. How about
So
that?
he's a on base kind of guy. Single,
Yeah.
double.
Let's see, 112 at bats. He walked 32 times. That's pretty darn good. And then 21 Ks. What's that? Okay, that's 1 in 5. That's actually not bad compared to a lot of these guys we're going to see. And then last year he started the season again in Bautista, but then made it to Arizona Cactus League with the Dodgers. And so some home runs, got some power. So his slug went from 366 to 468. His OPS went from 833, which isn't bad at itself, up to 939. So kind of for me, it's exciting numbers. I've only seen him on video. I don't know, Trinidad, if you've had a chance to take a look at him, but I don't know much about him. Have you heard too much about him yourself?
This is the first time I even hear about this kid. Actually, I didn't even know, even from where he's from, I didn't even know they had a baseball out there.
Yeah, it's but it's cool though. It's just a guy that's pretty good. I think they probably moved him up maybe a little faster because of his age. He is 19, but he just turned 19 in October. So this whole season will be age 19, but if he already he played last year in the ACL, I think we get to see him at Rancho maybe by June, something like that. What do you think?
Maybe June, depending on where they want to move up a lot of the guys this upcoming year too. I mean, you've seen it. I expected a lot of where we were pretty much expecting a lot of these guys going on at the beginning of this year. So, I mean, if he starts in Rancho, I mean, that would be great to see him out there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we we love seeing those guys come through. It's kind of an interesting thing. You hear about international prospects, and we don't know much about them. They're not drafted. You see a little bit of things from the MLB pipeline, But then it's like, oh, maybe if you see him in spring training, you'll get lucky because, of course, none of the guys have the names on their back of their practice jerseys.
Right.
It kind of sucks. Like, dude, then they come to Rancho, you get to meet him and all that stuff. And so he is 6'1", 176. I'm guessing that was probably when he was signed. He's probably at 19. He's probably going to start getting a little thicker, get those man muscles and stuff like that. But those grown up muscles. So pretty excited about him, even though we haven't seen much of him. But there's a little bit of YouTube on him. But so take a look at that guy. Our next guy is a familiar face for some of us. It's Alex Freeland. We saw him at the end of 2022, and we only got to see him for a little bit because total of 8 games at Rancho, and then this next year he started the season at Great Lakes and stayed there the whole season. Let's see, switch hitter. I hope he sticks it short. What do you think about that? Do you think he sticks it short, or they move him to third, or?
I would like to see him play some third at least. Also, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, his height is you normally hear a lot about shortstops being 6 feet something, and then they tell him that their size is not capable of being that short. But I mean, if he could get third base under his belt, that would be awesome to see him do that.
Yeah, and he is 6'2". I'm sure. Let's see, they got him in the 2022 draft, 3rd round. So obviously a guy that they're pushing a bit. He's already 22, so he turned 22 in August. So he'll play most of the season at the age of 22. I'm guessing in Double-A. Let's take a quick look at his numbers. So last year, again, 8 games with Rancho, hit .313. Slugged, had 3 home runs and 32 at bats. I don't know about you, Alex, or you're not Alex, you're Trinidad. I don't know about you, Trinidad, but I thought he might start the season at Rancho again for a month or 2.
Right.
But he struggled a bit. Only 9 home runs. I think there's more there. A lot of strikeouts, 131 strikeouts, 392 at bats. He is a switch hitter. I forget that, but he is a switch hitter. And but yeah, it wasn't his best season. His on base percentage wasn't bad. Is over 100 points more than his batting average. So he is getting walks, 60 walks and 392 at bats. So 60 plus 92 is the number, or 392 is the number of plate appearances. That's pretty good.
I just think it's probably a little hiccup year.
Yeah.
It was too fast for him. Like you said, we thought he was going to start off in Rancho, probably get an extra month in, and then move up. But I mean, eventually, you saw a lot of guys that we thought that moved. Oh, a lot of guys that moved up last year from Rancho to their new affiliates this year. They struggled a lot. So I mean, it's probably just a hiccup year, and probably pick it up again next season.
And I was noticing he did miss some time. It wasn't that much, but he missed. So he might have had an injury that was nagging him a bit too. That does happen.
Right.
So Alex Freeland, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the season at low or high A again, but should be at Double-A by sometime within the season. Do you think that's correct?
I'll give it about probably a little bit, probably before the All-Star break, or probably a little after he gets up to Double-A. I mean, hopefully sooner, but
yeah.
I mean, it depending on how he turns it around next season, I could see it a lot.
All right, our next guy is Austin Gauthier. We picked him as shortstop. He played all over the diamond this last year, even a lot of outfield. But you can play him anywhere. And the undrafted free agent in 2021, just making amazing progress. I know Trinidad, you saw him quite a bit. Oh, they're doing it again. We're just gonna live with this. Sorry, folks. These people are bad. These ads are bad. Let me click. Don't worry, folks. We're gonna save the day a little bit here. With Austin here. Okay, so your thoughts on Austin? That you've seen him quite a bit. while we let that thing roll. Just go to the site here while that goes through. What are your thoughts on Austin?
Well, I mean, pretty impressive last year actually that he had, and he proved a lot himself moving from Rancho all the way to High A at the end of the season, and then it was a bigger surprise this season when he made it up to Double A. Like you said, he played all around. I even played the outfield, which shocked me a little bit because I feel like now they're going to try to start moving him around the field to pretty much, I guess, move him higher up in the ranks. But I'm actually more proud of him as well too, seeing a lot of these undrafted guys going into the top 30 list of the Dodgers prospect list.
It is quite amazing. And yeah, I met him 2022 spring training. I got to be honest, I'd never heard of him. And he introduced himself and we spoke a little bit and I got to know him and watched him. And then we saw him at Rancho. And like you said, he got promoted to High A. And then this last year made it to Double A. I'm trying to look at when he got there.
Believe it was like in May, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, geez, hot dog, man. So yeah, and he's definitely a friend of the show. Talked to him before. Actually, did a little interview with him in which we're interrupted with fireworks. But look at this, man. In Double A, 84 games, hit 6 home runs, but he hit 293, 411 on base percentage.
Man, yeah, he loves to get on base a lot. He does draw his walks. He does fight a lot of pitches off, and he knows where his strike zone's at. And that's the one thing about it. The one time, I think the few times I talked to him, in Rancho, he always told me that he doesn't allow the umpire to tell him where his strike zone's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I love about him as a hitter, that he knows what pitches he's gonna attack as far as that when it comes to the strike zone.
Dude walked 100 times.
Very impressive right there. Very impressive.
That is impressive, especially, for a guy that's not known as a power hitter. That you could see, they're pitching around the power hitter, but this is a guy that hit a total of 12 home runs. But I'm guessing he led the minor league organization for the Dodgers in at-bats with 469. Man, what a year. I mean, he had 365 at Great Lakes.
Right.
Geez. Impressive. What a season for that guy. I mean, 487 on base percentage. He just tore it up.
I wouldn't doubt it as far as when it comes to him moving up next season, probably to AAA. I wouldn't doubt if he starts it off there. But also, too, I wouldn't doubt if him and Joendry Vargas are going to be both in AAA next season.
Yeah. Well, I think,
knowing that they're both going to probably fight for second base, probably.
Yeah. Well, Jorbit is on the 40 man. I thought he got promoted at the end of the year to AAA. But also, and even though I have Jorbit as a second baseman, he did play a little bit of third base last year, especially in spring training.
Right.
So Austin, the good thing about Austin, he could play anywhere on the field.
Correct.
But that's so Dodger of him, right?
No, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as him, it's really good for him, even to play the outfield. Because, I mean, if he could play any position, you already know the Dodgers are going to be highly looking at him when it comes to if he does get to AAA as well, too.
Right.
Going to have to fill in some holes, especially if guys go injury.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing story there. And that's the type of guy you just got to root for. I mean, he is the underdog. All right, our next guy was a 6th-round draft choice by the Dodgers in 2013. His name is Bryan Gonzalez. I just know from what I've read about him on the draft. You Trinidad, I'm guessing you probably haven't seen him either.
I have not.
Yeah, he was the Arizona ACL. It's called the Arizona Cactus League. If I ever say Arizona Summer League, same deal. He just played a little bit, 32 at bats, not even worth mentioning. But he's still 8. Gosh, he turned 18 in July. So he's a young one, born in 2005. Jeez. It's a baby. But yeah, so it came from the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy in Florida. Well, Florida, Puerto Rico? Huh? Okay. There's a Florida, Puerto Rico? Okay. But But to remind everybody, players in Puerto Rico are still subject to the draft because Puerto Rico is part of the United States. So guys that are they're in Puerto Rico, just to bring up a name, Carlos Correa was one of them. He was a first pick in the draft in like 2012 out of Puerto Rico. So Bryan Gonzalez, we will find out more. I'm guessing we see him at Rancho soon. He's a young one, so maybe they keep him in the ACL for a bit.
Probably keep him maybe a couple months and then move him up, depending.
Yeah, and like we will say, there's other guys they have to battle with, and they have to have a spot for him too.
Right.
Our next guy is Jose Izarra. If I ever call him Josh, it's because come on, getting our thing there. If I ever call him Josh, it's because his Instagram name has Josh in it, so I don't get it. But no, there's a little story about that. And I actually have an interview with him. You look it up on our YouTube, you'll see the information about him. So Josh, he's from Venezuela. Oh, they're just killing me with these ads. Just these. It's awful. So we'll talk about Josh while we wait for this to finish. I don't know why it's trying to play. Sorry, folks. I'll go over here until it's done. So Josh, Jose, I just did it, didn't I? Jose, even though he's from Venezuela, he moved to Florida when he was 16. That is in the interview with him. He is, from what I saw, he is the best fielding shortstop in the organization. All the way majors, well, maybe Rojas, but he's right up there with Rojas in terms. But he's a young one. And he also, did you see him play? He was like playing center field.
Yeah, I got to see him play towards the end of the season where he got moved to center field.
Yeah, so they're trying to find a spot for him. I mean, by the end of the year, things get so weird for the team that I'm just trying to get rid of these ads right now. It's terrible. You can't get rid of the ad. MILB, fix your freaking website. Awful. It is. It has an X, and I'm trying to hit the X, and it won't do it. It's so dumb. So, well, we'll see what we get to see with Jose. This is a terrible ad. Sorry, folks, about that. We're doing the best we can with what we have. But the thing is with Jose, he is an excellent fielder. His offense, it's coming around.
Right.
Just that's good. That's gonna be the key for him, is that offense. Because a slick fielder like that, there's always room for someone like that. But his numbers, he had such a good start, man. He ended up at 219.
He did start off hot. I know it, and then towards the end of the season, even in the playoffs, he struggled pretty much a lot of the whole rest of the season after.
Yeah. I wonder if he wore out.
I don't know, but then again, too, when he moved to center field, the only reason why he moved out there was because they got that draft pick from LSU. Remember Jordan Thompson?
Yep. And we'll
They
cover
got
Jordan.
him and that other kid, Sam Magnolia.
Yep.
So that was the only reason why I'm pretty sure they try to test him out there, as far as, because you have like 3-4 shortstops out there, especially with Don Cone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, when again, we brought it up at the beginning, but all these shortstops are low in terms of they're young, so there's a huge battle there that's coming, or that's already here. Let's be honest about it. A battle for playing time, and actually, when we talk about our next guy, it's a guy that's going to be in the mix. But yeah. Jose just had a rough one. I mean, he struck out a lot. And I think he started out so well. He started out a little slow, then he got really good. And then I think by the end of the year, he was struggling. But I believe in the guy. He'll be 22 in March. So he placed, at the age of 22. He was drafted in the 14th round out of a JC. He went to a JC to keep flexibility. That's what some of these guys do. It's smart. You got any more thoughts on Mr. Izarra?
Not much. I mean, all I know is too that he's pretty quick out on the base pass when he does get on
Oh,
base too. You
yes.
forgot about that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the other reason why they tried him out in center field.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, though, if his bat comes around and like we know he can be, like you said, when he was hot for a good 2-3 months,
Mm-hmm.
you know him on the base pass is going to be a threat out there too.
Yep, for sure. All right, so that's Jose Izarra. Sorry about all the dumbness from the MILB site. All right, our next guy is Sean McLean. I saw him. I don't know if you caught him in spring training. I caught him, and I saw some great defense. I mean, he was up there getting close to Izarra in terms of, making some plays out there, and then he didn't show up. Like, where is this young man? His brother is the player with the Reds, McLean.
Right, Matt McClain.
Matt, yes, I had him on my fantasy team. Yeah, at one point I had Gelof's brother and I had McLean's brother on my fantasy team. They're pretty good. I got to the finals or semifinals. But yeah, he total of 28 at bats, just never got a chance. Hit one home run. I don't even remember that, but
Oh, I was
I
there for that home run. Yeah.
oh nice. I got, they say second base. He is a shortstop. Oh, there's his brother right there, Matt McLean. His brother Nick McLean, I think, is at Arizona State.
Yeah, so he's
Um,
going to get drafted, I think, this upcoming season.
okay. Yeah, Sean's a really good dude too. I've had just to hang out and talk to him. I know he was hurt, so he's a little more available. Good guy, just looks so good in spring training, and yeah, there's a lot there. He's a Orange County guy. I think it's Costa Mesa.
Right.
So they think a lot of him. They draft him in the 5th round. They're going to give him some time. So I expect him to be at Rancho a little bit again, but I expect him to move up to high A pretty fast if he's
I
healthy.
think he will. Just the fact that his those injuries that just came out on him pretty much just built a lot of wear and tear on his body. But I think now that it's the off season and recovers, he'll be there next season for sure.
Right. Yeah, I sure hope so. And just, you get, you hang out with these guys enough and you go, that's a good guy. I hope he's good. Okay, our next player is Nico Nicholas Perez. He's been on the reserve list. I don't know what's going on with him. It looks like he's playing winter ball. Can you see that,
A little
Trinidad?
bit, a little bit.
Can uh no blah man. I can't say it.
Oh, Cangrejeros
Okay,
de Santurce. I think I want to
okay,
say it. See,
okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But he was, out all year. I remember him in spring training. I met him. He's been drafted in 2022, still hasn't had an at bat.
hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's his thing. But I just wanted to draw attention to him. He looked really good in spring training. Lots of short, lots of second. 15th rounder. He was also so BU Academy in Puerto Rico. So another guy from Puerto Rico that was drafted. So
I
yeah, and
wonder
he's
if that's the
night.
same academy that Kike Hernandez came from.
Oh,
I wonder if that's the same academy because I know Kike came out from one of those academies out there in Puerto Rico too.
okay. Yeah, so he's a young one still. He's still not man, he doesn't turn 20 until next year. So
Right.
that's cool. Yeah, so he's still got plenty of time. It's just I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get started. And hope everything's good with him. Yeah, met him at spring training. Seems like a really good kid. And we're just looking forward to seeing him getting on the field. If we can get him going, I think we'll see him at Rancho. Probably would start in the ACL, but then would go to Rancho.
More than likely, for sure, Arizona.
Yeah, Jordan Thompson. We mentioned him just a little bit ago. I didn't know he's from San Diego. I should have known that.
Yeah,
Ah,
he's a local boy too.
oh my. Okay. I wonder where he went to high school. I'll have to look that up later. But Jordan even though he was round 15, he came in and started playing right away.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked about that. I didn't. A lot of them draft picks, they went straight to Rancho. A lot of them didn't see, like Jordan. He didn't see a lot of time in Arizona either.
Yeah, it's probably what,
He,
eight at bats.
yeah, he literally came right away.
And I think they do that more with the college guys. So he went to Louisiana State, LSU.
Right,
Um,
College World Series champs.
yeah, big program. Sorry about these ads keep popping up. MILB site is just dying for ads and killer. But then went to Rancho. He was brought up when August. Okay. July 27th. Then he got hurt a little bit, but
Right.
they went right to him. A lot of playing, a lot of playing time when he was there. So 21 games after he got up there. I think he played in all the postseason games too.
Yeah, he did.
Um, yeah. And didn't hit any home runs, but hit a solid 270. The slug's not there yet. But it's a good start for him. Looked good at shortstop to me. Is he okay? He's a righty. For some reason I thought he was a switch hitter. That's Freeland. It's the switch hitter. Um, he's just so I'm sure we see him at the start of the season, but unless they do like they did with Freeland, right? And just say, hey, we're skipping because we already got too many, possibly. Yeah, we're gonna see. What were your thoughts on Jordan? I always want to call him Justin, but it's Jordan.
No, I mean he did really well. I mean he even played a lot of the playoff games as well too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did hit like a couple home runs in the playoffs. I think also. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But he looked really good and defensively at short. But like you said, there would be days where he would switch off with Jose Izarra as well too, when they had
Yeah.
him in the outfield and everything too. But I wouldn't be surprised too, like you said. I mean, they move him up just like Freeland. Because I don't even think Alex Freeland has a backup shortstop right in Great Lakes.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I think you're going to have a battle between Izarra and Jordan Thompson to maybe be up there. Well, it depends, right? If
Right.
Freeland goes up too, because they do have room with Austin in AAA. They got room at AA, that's for sure. They're going to fill that somehow. I don't know with which one though. I would think. Yeah, it's got to be Freeland that would be the number one guy to go up there. They might sign some free agent, that to fill in until they're ready. Like last year, they did that with Bryson Brigham. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah, that's right.
yeah, I thought he was good too. He's gone now. Maybe they re-sign him. Even though he's more of a AAA guy to me than AA. Yeah, I think Jordan's got a I think the organization likes what they saw, or they wouldn't have been giving him all that playing time, even
No,
for
you're
a
right.
15th rounder.
But if it does come down to it, I could see more of Jordan moving up and being in Great Lakes at the beginning of next year than I see Jose Izarra anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I get maybe Jose get him a good start again, and then get him out of there, get him up, get him out, and get him up.
Right.
Keep moving these guys forward. That's for sure. All right, the big name, the guy that a lot of us prospect huggers are really fans of, and that's Joendry Vargas. Am I saying it right, Joendry?
It might sound like a Y, probably, but maybe Joendry.
Okay. Also, it could be like DePaula calls him. It's even though it's spelled Josue, it's Josue. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
Josue.
Joendry, maybe, I don't know. But Jay Vargas, another Vargas. This guy, just he turned 18 just a few days ago. He's Dominican. Yeah, he was there, one of the top international signings that we just got in January. And
I
let's
believe he
be.
was number one, right, for the Dodgers,
Ah,
number
he
one pick.
was, yeah. You know what? Let's take a quick look at that. I'm gonna go, folks. I'm gonna go because I think it's just terribly interesting to go. We can go international, and the number one last year was. Oh, look,
There is number
Joendry
three.
was 3.
So he was the number one international
Yeah,
draft pick for the Dodgers.
yeah. Very interesting. That just kind of sheds a little more light, doesn't it? But Jay Vargas, Joendry. Hopefully we get to talk to him in spring training, and we'll let everyone know. Just by the way, before this recording, Trinidad and I were talking about spring training. And so if we can get out there together, we could really do some damage, especially, with him out there being able to interview the players in Spanish. And then we'd also be able to trade off and record take turns on the camera, things like that. So, maybe hopefully we'll be able to do that. We're just starting to plan that. I know some of y'all out there plan on being out there. I'm going to be out there somewhere between March 9th and March 16th, somewhere like that. But Mr. Vargas, and I say Mr. Vargas, even though he's 18, because this young man is good. As some of you may know, I have him in the, what I call it, the Andrew Friedman top 3 untouchables in the system. Has nothing to do with all those Baseball America, MLB pipeline lists. Those are just kind of, in some ways, what matters is what is Friedman's list. And I think this young man is on that list. 174 at bats. And this was in, where was it? He was in the DSL. So with Batista. That was a really good team. They won a ton of games, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
did see a lot of them posting out there that they were winning a lot of games.
jeez. So 174 at bats, 57 hits, 7 dongs, 31 RBI. That's pretty darn good. 19 stolen bases, 328 batting average, 423 on base percentage, OPS 952. So that's slug 529. So you know what? You give me a player whose slash starts, the first one starts with 3 for the average, the on base starts with 4, and the slug starts with 5. Sign me up, especially for a shortstop. As some of you may recall, the Dodgers developed pretty good shortstop that they had for 6+ seasons. The 2020 World Series MVP, and also the 2022 World Series MVP, but with a different team, Mr. Corey Seager. Not to put any pressure on this young man, but he's about the same height as Mr. Seager. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, 6'4".
I'm not positive. I'll just be honest with you. I'm just not positive. Where let's pull up his little scouting thing here. Where is he at? They have him at where?
They're number 14.
They have him at 13. That's a joke. That is not. No way. So, Mr. Vargas, I just want to see. Oh, okay. He was a switch hitter. He's going to bat righty. Bat speed. I'm looking for the defense. Good actions, range to both sides, reliable hands, and plus arm strength. Okay. One of the more polished hitters and defenders in the international class. So I think he sticks at shortstop.
It sounds like he's gonna stick at shortstop, but you
Yeah.
never know, because once these kids touch Arizona, that's where the real talk start coming around, saying like, oh, we just don't see them long term there. Then we're gonna have to move in the third. The whole shit, how it comes down to as soon as they touch Arizona Complex League, that's where it all starts shedding light out there as far as what they're gonna do with these guys.
Here's something funny. So this just cracks me up, right? So the Dodgers system, the scouting system is on a 20/80 scale, which is where the name of our organization comes from. 20's low, 80's high. So they got Mr. Vargas at hit tool 80, 55, power 55, run 50, arm 60, field 55, overall 45. They don't know how to do the maths, do they? That doesn't make sense to me.
Overall, he should be like in the high 50 or in the 60.
55 minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and that's just the way it is. I think the Dodgers hold this young man in very high regard, and I think we're going to have to do one of those system. We'll have to go through the prospect list. We'll do that after maybe the winter meetings because some of these guys are going to be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it briefly. We think that Mr. Friedman is hot to make some moves. So, well, that is the shortstop. So let's talk
Let's just say
about.
like this. Joendry is gonna probably not even be on that high list of teams wanting him anyways right now, knowing the fact that he's still in the Dominican Republic. But that a lot of teams are gonna go for the bigger names, like a Dalton Rushing, a Dio Cartaya, guys that they see that Dodgers can probably shed bait on these guys just to trade away for players they need anyways.
Yeah.
So Joendry's probably going to be like at the very low end where they say like, oh, well, we heard about this kid. Maybe we'll take him.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's on Friedman's top 3. Again, it's my speculation. My list is, and I've said it a few times: Maddox Bruns, Josue De Paula, and Jay Vargas. Could be wrong. So, and teams have their own internal things, And you bring up a really good point because let's just say let's take the White Sox for example.
Right now with the Dylan Cease rumor.
Yeah. So if the White Sox make a trade with the Dodgers, and I'm going to just throw some names out there because they're so young and people haven't heard of them. Even though these guys are really good, Jesus Tierro and Chris Newell, Samuel Munoz, and Joendry Vargas, the fans are going to go nuts in a bad way because they're all most fans are casuals, but the smart fans will go, holy crap, that's really good. But they're going to, like you said, they're going to want Rushing, Bush, Cartaya, the big guys, the top 5 for sure. For those things. But you can already see Josue is moving up. Yeah, I think I'm fired up about the shortstops. I got to be honest with you. Again, they're not going to be helping other than Gauthier. I think we see Austin in 2025. Maybe
sooner.
Maybe, yeah, it's possible. The way he's moving.
Like I said, I think the higher chance of making it as far as to the big leagues maybe next season is going to be Austin because, like I said, now that he's playing some outfield, now he's playing third, short, and second.
Mm-hmm.
You know very well that they're going to try to use him like a Chris Taylor, and you know how Dodgers are a lot of injuries happening in the beginning of the season. So you can only imagine that Austin's going to be that one guy they're going to have a look at and be like, hey, we're going to need you up here because guys are going down right now.
Yeah, well, for sure. Sorry, folks, about my shoulder keeping to fall out. I'm trying to keep it in. I don't know what's going on. Zoom is not being friendly to me. It's been better. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my lighting is not so good this time. But so that is the shortstops. Do you have any final thoughts, Trinidad, on these shortstops?
Obviously we talked about a lot of these prospects. We've seen most of them. A lot of them we're excited to see next year, hopefully in Rancho. But I think most than likely now that we pretty much talked about them, and it's been a while since I've really kept up with these guys anyways. I think I can kind of see like who I still have high hopes on for sure is Alex Freeland, who's a switch hitting shortstop and everything. But the one that I'm very proud of, and like I said, that he's made the top 30 list as a free agent signing, has got to be Austin Gauthier.
Yeah.
Just the amount, that's what he's done in the last year and a half or so in single A and now double A is going to show that he's going to be probably a well-known prospect that Dodgers going to really hope for coming soon next season.
I agree. Yeah, I have high hopes. That's for sure. And my underrated guy, yeah, because I agree with you everything you said. My underrated guy is definitely Sean McClain. Just if he can be healthy, he's good. He's a good one. But yeah, I'm really happy with the list. We got even Mr. Albertus Alexander Albertus, who I can't wait to see now. You look at the numbers, you go, huh, we should look at this guy. So I think we do see him at Rancho sometime this year. But yeah, hopefully we can get a hold of some of these guys during spring training. We'll just once we get our dates down, we're just gonna have to line them up and just say, hey, maybe we should just take them all to Chipotle and meet him at Chipotle, or just meet him at Chipotle and say, hey, let's interview. We can eat and interview. I don't care. Hey, it might be fun. Around the table at Chipotle. Oh,
Right?
that might be fun, right? It's
No,
kind of an interesting.
definitely.
Thing is, we need more cameras, so that would be hard.
Speaking right now that we're in the topic of shortstops, as far as like a lot of these guys are coming up, remember you have to think about it too. What's his name is no longer with the Dodgers, anyways. Eddie's Leonard.
Eddie's Leonard, yeah.
Remember, he's not with us anymore. Remember, he was supposed to be the other top shortstop prospect when as soon as Gavin Lux went down.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a bummer. I hated the way he left. Well, speaking of Gavin Lux, he's back, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gavin, it's all contingent still on the knee. I mean, that was bad. The surgery was a total reconstruction. But he is working out at Dodger Stadium now. He's for him, it's no off season. He's working hard to get his career. He knows what's at stake.
Right.
But I think if Gavin Lux can be that guy at shortstop, the bat's there. I mean, we know he's got a good bat.
The bat finally has come around after that 2021 season.
Yeah, there was just remember they're messing with him. He played a little third, played outfield with no. That was dumb. Don't treat your top prospects that way. I just can't believe they did that. But 2024 is a huge one for Lux. They still have 3 years of team control with him. So he'll be going through arbitration, I think, for the first time. But I have high hopes for him. And there's been some rumors out there. We might as well, since we're on the topic of shortstops, we'll address those right now. The big one has been Willy Adames. That's been around for a year.
A year almost now. No, I think a little longer than that now too.
Yeah, I literally remember it was November of 2022. I'm at an Apple store in Austin, Texas. I'm dead serious. And I'm talking with Doug McCain. And we're talking about Willy Adames and Corbin Burns. I would like to. Willy Adames is a really good ball player. The bat, he strikes out a lot, but he's a good fielder. If they don't believe in Lux, then they should make a move. And then the other one, which it's kind of vanished now, was Bo Bichette.
Right.
The Rays have a lot of young guys coming through. They're going to be due for some big old paydays, and they got to make some decisions on those. Player like Bo Bichette, he's a top notch big league, good to great player, I would say. His defense has really gotten better. He has such pretty hair and such a perfectly groomed beard. I'm just kidding. He's a thirst trap, I guess. But he's if they got him, I wouldn't cry. But at the same time, I think Lux, if he's ready, I think that they're going to just stand pat. I mean, I don't think even, let's say that Lux even isn't ready. Sorry, I'm just really fighting my shoulder here. It keeps vanishing. Doesn't hurt when it vanishes. But they've got, let's just say Lux isn't ready. They still got Miggy Rojas. They still got Chris Taylor. Maybe they re-sign Kike. I think they're fine at shortstop.
Right.
We need pitching.
That's going to be the main thing, though. Is just
Has
mostly.
To be.
But even Freeman said it himself that if there is a lineup, guys, where they feel that they can get it for the right price or for the right number, then they'll go ahead and work with it as far as like getting a guy. So like if they feel like Lux isn't ready, and they can't make a trade for a Bo Bichette, let's say for example, or a Willy Adames, then if the number's right, they're just gonna go ahead and re-sign Kike maybe.
Yeah, and I like that, to be honest with you. I'm a fan of Kike, I gotta admit it, but the dude was pretty good last year, and he should have been playing in the playoffs instead of a broken Peralta.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's shoot, man, so the way it's gonna go, calendar folks, we got Thanksgiving week. Then the week after that is post Thanksgiving, but then the week after that's the winter meetings. That's gonna get hot. And so we will definitely be doing multiple shows. We will we're not going to address every rumor, that's for sure. But if there's something interesting, especially when they start throwing prospect names out there, we don't, in some ways, we don't want to see anyone get traded. At the same time, we want to see all these players get opportunities, whether it's with the Dodgers or with someone else. I mean, both of Trinidad and myself have had such excellent interactions with these young men. And we just want them to excel, and we want them to get paid and have their careers get moving, whether it's with the Dodgers or with another organization.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, all these kids have been really, really well respected and everything. So I mean, you cannot sit there and be like, yeah, we want them to be Dodgers, although we want them to be, but
Yeah.
that's not part of the business, anyways, of baseball now.
Yeah, very true. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I'm going to actually stop sharing so we can. There we go. Yeah, just that it is part of baseball that these guys get moved or not moved, but we just want them to get moved to get their chance. I mean, the good thing is with what we just covered with the shortstops, there's room at the top, and if someone gets hot and really takes a big step, there's no one blocking. They can
Oh
head
yeah,
right up, and because AAA is wide open, I do think Austin Gauthier should get first shot if he's going to play shortstop, and we've talked about that. But the reason I had him at shortstop, he played more games at shortstop than any other position this year, but it was close. It really was. He was all over. A lot of second, some third, even some right field. I don't look at Austin as a prototype right field, but um, you know, jack of all trades is what we call him. But yeah, right now he's the highest ranked in terms of where he is in the system in terms of being at AA. Everyone else is lower. Prospect lists are going to have these guys all over the place. I got a feeling that when the new prospect lists roll in March is usually when it happens, that Mr. J Vargas is going to be top 10 for sure, and by the end of next year is going to be in their top 5, and I think it'll be pretty easy that he'll be up there.
oh yeah, you already know these guys are going to move higher, especially Austin. Maybe, I mean, I hope he moves out of that 30 list. I don't even think he should even be 30.
Yeah, they haven't redone the list since mid-season. So right
Right,
now they just guys move out, move in, but they put some other guys ahead of them, some draftees and things like that. But that's because they're drafted higher and all that. He's gonna have to battle that. Just that,
right,
that free agent thing. But eventually, I think it's gonna pay off for him because first of all, it's a great story.
correct.
Um, and he's got the character to back it up. And yeah, the dude plays baseball like it's meant to be played.
Oh yeah, even just the way he comes off and everything. I mean, to my knowledge, the only times I've seen him in Rancho, I mean, if you really think about it, it just seems like he's never frustrated with himself.
Yeah, he
It
does
just
get
thinks he just.
yeah, he does get frustrated at the umpire though. He got
Oh
tossed
yeah, yeah.
he got tossed a couple times. I think it's because like you said, he's not adjusting to the umpire strike zone. He's keeping his own. And that's
Right,
debatable if that's a good thing, but if he's so confident in his eye, and Juan Soto's like that, right? He's really confident, and also DePaula, our Josue DePaula, they're very confident about what they know, about what they see. So I think that's a good thing. And if we ever get purely automated zones, those guys will just really dominate in that way.
oh yeah, easily.
So, well, that is the shortstops. And again, we're like any of these guys, any of these positions, we're excited about them. I want to thank Trinidad for taking the time to hang out with me and do these shortstop things. I'm just sorry my shoulder keeps fading out, and the MILB site keeps putting those stupid commercials on and doesn't let you get rid of them. Shame on them. Maybe I'll try a different browser next time. But thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Trinidad. Any last words?
Not just getting ready for these winter meetings, that's for sure. I mean, like you said, we're really excited about these guys. We're very proud of what they've done in the last couple of and the time that I've seen them. You've seen them a little bit longer than I have, but we can't wait for spring training to start interviewing these kids. That's for sure. Really want to hear what they're really excited, what their goals are for 2024. Although we already know what the goal is.
Yeah, exactly. Get better, keep getting promoted, and get paid.
That's right.
All right. So for Trinidad Loeza, I am Tim Rogers with Dodgers 2080 with the fading in and fading out shoulder. See, there it is. There's not. Okay, there it is. There it's not. That's it for now. We will be back. Our next positions we'll be covering will be center field. And I'll be doing that, I think, with Steve Douglas. We'll be recording that in a few days. And then we'll look at our next position after that. Maybe we'll put a poll out and to talk about that. So thanks everybody. And for Dodgers 2080, we thank you.
All right, later, guys.